Hey guys, how y'all doing? I'm here to give you guys a recap on the new episode of Yakusoku no Neverland, or you could call it The Promised Neverland on episode 12, which is also the final episode, and I will give you guys the final recap and my final thoughts on the series. So if anything else, let's just get this started. We have to it that everyone is deciding to escape right now. As for Emma, she decides to leave anyone behind that's 5 years old or and below, especially the younger babies, which is really a hard decision because there was a meeting between Dawn and Gilda trying to figure out what to do next, because if we bring them along with us, we have to really protect them. Although, no, actually, the ones who are below 5, I think they got left behind. But if anything else, Emma decides to think real hard about this because she wants to bring everyone along, otherwise they get shipped off and be eaten. And this is a really hard decision that Emma told Ray about, because this is where they talked to Phil, and Phil kind of knew what was going on after Emma told him the real truth. And we see to it that Phil confesses and was really concerned about everything because he knew something was wrong. As a little kid who's actually smart and he has a good brain, he has been wondering what the hell has been going on. But unfortunately, after being told the truth, he cries in great grief because of what happened. And after being told what happened, we see to it that Emma asks Phil's opinion. What do you think I should do? Leave you guys behind or take you guys with me? And this was a pretty crazy decision to make, the choice to ask a kid. I mean, for someone who possibly is still growing and has certain potential, it's going to crush them or take them a while to actually give an answer. But Phil says, leave us behind. We'll be fine. I can keep an eye on them. Of course, Emma makes a promise by telling Phil, at most you guys might be shipped out in 2 years. So I want you guys to wait for me for 2 years to come, okay? I promise I'll be back for you, and I'll be back in a flash no matter what. Eventually, this becomes a very tough decision for Emma because she despite her being naive and being, let's see here, ridiculous, naive in personality, she can make some hard, honest decisions, especially what happened here. So we have to it that the kids who are at a certain cliff right now, we see to it that Norman had planned this out for a long time. Like, they can't jump across the cliff, but they somehow could make some kind of rope and stone, like trying to have the stone hit the tree, and they have been training on that for a while now, especially at that very big long distance. And eventually they do make it. They do make the zip line. Make a zip line with cloth in order to get across. And we see to it that everyone gets across, and there's one girl who is really concerned and she's scared that she might fall, And I can't blame her. I mean, she's at that age where she's really gonna cry. I can't do this, But Ray decided to go with her to zip line across. As for everyone else, they managed to zip line across after they made their zip line with the help of a rock and other intellectual ideas. We see to it that, of course, Isabella does make the alarm sound off and have the demons watch out for the kids possibly escaping. But due to this planning ahead of Norman and Emma along with Ray, they managed to make the zip line to a certain spot right here. Of course, Isabella knew something was wrong, and she did go up the cliff or wall and runs across and looks at Emma, who's the last one to go across, who's going to zip line. Of course, Isabella tries to convince Emma not to do this, but Emma, on the other hand, says, goodbye, Mom, goodbye, house, goodbye, everybody, and ends up ziplining across. And we see to it that Isabella unties her hair and has a nostalgia or reminiscence, or decides to look back on how she was back then. As the zip lines, they got untied thanks to everyone else, and we have to it that, of course, that's when Isabella unties her hair. Sorry for being very confusing right here. And she ends up remembering back then of how she was a kid at the house as well. We get to know that she ends up actually liking a song, and she actually had a love interest of someone making music, especially when it's on a guitar or whatever that thing is called. Sorry, it's just been so long that I only remember certain musical instruments. That she ends up having to like listen to a person's song right now and says, "Hey, can you play that song for me again?" He goes like, "Yeah, sure. Just don't tell anybody, okay? It's just really, really embarrassing." And eventually, we see to it that he ends up playing the song for her, and she will remember it from the very beginning to the end to present time, to the point where after he got shipped off, this is where she did not know much of the truth. But eventually, after crossing it, going on the wall, and decides to go back, and later on given an offer to become a mother at a house, we see to it that Isabella, on the other hand, did give birth to a certain kid, but she would also sing that song to her baby while it was inside her womb. I'm pretty sure you guys know that. Those guys who watch the episode, you'll get the idea. And we get to know the truth that Ray is actually Isabella's son. This is where it shocked me the most, because Isabella might have been using Ray and etc. But after hearing Ray singing that song after reading a book at a tree, Isabella asked Ray, "How do you know that song?" And Ray therefore smiles when he was a kid and asks his mother, "Hey mom, why did you give birth to me?" And we see to it that Isabella says it's for survival. And we see to it that Isabella sighs and looks up to the sky and says, "Well, I've been outsmarted and outwitted by these kids, but you know, I give up. I lost this round." And she ends up telling her kids, especially her son Ray, that to keep going, don't look back. I'm pretty sure you'll find a light somewhere in the world. Just keep going. Keep going. And we see to it that Isabel returns to the kids and tells him, "I'm sorry that I left you guys worry." And of course, and that's about it. And of course, Emma and the others, along with Don and Gilda and the other children, ends up going into the morning light and starts their first step of the journey that Emma will get everyone, especially the kids around the other farms or houses. And the episode ends up with Emma and everyone else staring at the rising sun in the morning, and it ends off there. But let's not forget, if you guys have been keeping up with Anime News Network, or if you have very good friends that is good with keeping up with news such as series such as this, or maybe some other stuff, you will know that there was actually a season 2 announced yesterday. I was informed last night by my friends that season 2 will come out next year. So yeah, looking forward to that. So overall, without a lot of detail, if I had to recap it in short terms without a lot of detail, sorry for repeating myself, the kids would escape eventually, and Isabella would watch Emma zipline across the cliff, and we get to know about her a lot that she was actually one of those kids on the farm, which seems obvious. Not to mention that Ray is her child that she gave birth to without knowing. And she truly loved her son, but you know. Yeah. Anyways, what are my final thoughts on this series? I guess it's okay, although I am kind of a little bit bothered that it's about kids escaping, but not the only way how the series just pressures you or gives you like hyperactive sensitivity, or just go like, what the hell is going to happen next, is its cliffhangers. Like, its cliffhangers for each episode has been one hell of a ride, to a point that you go like, what the hell is going to happen next? What's this? What's that? Wow. You know, that kind of thing. So this series is nothing special, that much I'll say. I mean, it's nothing to overhype about. I mean, in terms of if it adapted pretty well, if many manga readers could give confirmation on, I say like I guess it's done its job. So like I could give the series in terms of adaptation maybe 7 out of 10. But when it comes to other stuff, just like the way I look at it, it's like the couple kids know the truth, recruit some kids, and they try to escape the prison or the freaking like place where they get shipped off to become food or something. Pretty much just like certain kids find out the truth and tries to escape with only a handful that they could bring along for the time being. So that much I could summarize about the entirety of season 1 pretty much. But yeah. Anyways, thought the series was okay. I mean, in terms of adaptation, I thought like well, I can't really make the confirmation they adapted it correctly, but many people say it kind of gotten rushed, but the way how I thought it went, I guess it's all right. Series is nothing to overhype about. Like I said, it's okay, 7 out of 10 for the time being, but I heard like after this arc, I think things kind of got a little bit worse, but I'm not really sure about that. I'm not so sure. I might read the manga sometime this year. I might. I mean, I'm thinking about holding out maybe until season 2 comes out, but that's yet to be given a decision. But I'll think about it. So, okay series, nothing to overhype, so as repeating myself over and over again. But looking forward to hopefully next season if it doesn't disappoint. But I heard like after this arc, things did not go well for many people, and possibly in terms of writing. But guess we'll have to see. So until then, I will see you guys in the next video. I'm Alpha Zero, people. Have a good day, and I'll see you guys next time, right? Peace out. Bye-bye. Toot-toot-toot!